So, dear friends, we'll start with today's session of the Organon, and after a gap of 4 5 days. In fact, we are on the concluding part of the organ of medicine and the potency selection part. We have learned last time how what potency is useful specifically in chronic diseases or miasmatic diseases, and Hahnemann specifically mentioned that in case of psora and syphilis, the only and only internal homeopathic management is needed. Nothing externally should be applied. But he changed his view in the last sixth edition of Organ of Medicine, and where he says, in the psychosis, the medicines which is simillimum for the patient, which should be given internally, at the same time, which should be applied locally. And that was his changed thought, because the psychotic growths never disappears very easily with only with the internal treatment. And that's why many times patient gets cured internally with the help of antipsychotic remedy, but external growth remains. And that's why Hahnemann advises that same medicine internally at the same time externally should be applied in such types of cases. And on this line we have stopped last time. Today we're going to discuss only one aphorism, that is 283 aphorism, where he explains that what happens when you prescribe remedy. You have find it out a remedy very perfect simillimum for the case, but still there are few symptoms, one or two, which are not there in your materia medica, or they are not present in your provings, but patient has those. And then it is not a perfect simillimum, because you are there are minute differences. So what happens if you give this remedy to the patient? That aspect he tried to explain in this 283 aphorism. So all those possibilities he has tried to explain, and these are very important questions, because these are the questions which are asked by many people, or those who think logically. Their mind always goes behind that. What happens if this symptom is not there in our materia medica and still we prescribe the remedy? So all those things, the answer here he is ready with. So aphorism 283. In order to work wholly according to the nature, the true healing artist will prescribe the accurately chosen homeopathic medicine, most suitable in all respect to in so small a dose on account of this. So what he say? That whenever you deal with any chronic disease or acute disease, you find it out a right remedy. You have taken into consideration the totality of the symptoms. If you are dealing with the chronic, you have taken into consideration totality of the symptoms, his miasmatic background, its constitution, everything you have taken into consideration, and you choose a right remedy for the case. This is your approach. This is the way we deal with any type of chronic disease. What he said, most accurately chosen homeopathic medicine, most suitable in all respects, in so small a dose on account of this done. So you choose a perfect potency depending upon susceptibility and small dose for the patient. For should he be misled by human weakness to employ an unsuitable medicine, the disadvantage of its wrong relation to the disease would be so small that patient could, through his own vital powers and by means of early oppositions of the correctly chosen according to the symptom similarity, and this also in the smallest dose, rapidly extinguish and repair it. So what he says, if if the totality is there, out of 10 symptoms, 9 are covered by your remedy and one is not covering, but that is the most perfect simillimum for the case. So you have chosen one remedy for the case. You have selected right potency depending upon his susceptibility, depending upon his pathology, depending upon his simillimum, depending upon his which medicine you are giving. All those things you have taken into consideration, and then you have selected right potency for the patient. Then when you give this remedy, it works at the center. It removes the disturbed vital force. It removes the natural disease and brings back that disturbed vital force again in harmony. And once vital force get that strength, it is sufficient for him to remove that one symptom which was not there in your simillimum, and vital force gains that strength to remove it and extinguish it by itself. So this is the thing which happens in such types of cases, and that's why even though the 100% simillimum is not there, one or two symptoms which lies over there, which are not very perfect simillimum to the case, can be extinguished with the help of same remedy, because that remedy only stimulates the vital force. Ultimately, it is not remedy which will going to cure the patient. Remedy is only the stimulus. It is the stimulus to just stimulate the conscience. And once conscience is stimulated, the person comes out, starts reacting, and he comes out showing his reactions. The vital force gains again the strength, and patient gets cured. So no homeopathic medicine directly acts through the primary action and removes the symptom, but your medicine will going to stimulate the vital force. So vital force itself, when comes out, it has the capacity to remove whole thing, the natural disease disappear, and even whatever remaining symptoms are there, those also will disappear under the action of it, and patient will be completely cured if your remedy is perfect. So see what Hahnemann wants to explain all the pros and cons. He every thought he has considered, that what may be the possible questions which will develop in students of homeopathy, or where they will have a problem. All queries he has solved before in this organ of medicine. This is the beauty of Hahnemann. So he has considered everything when he was telling us all those things. He has taken into consideration all those things. Even the roots of administrations are also mentioned. What we'll do, we'll read next aphorism. The footnote will not going to finish today, but we'll read that aphorism, and what he says regarding the roots of administration, that we'll discuss today, and footnote to this, that next paragraph, that we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. So what he says in 284, let us go. Besides the tongue, mouth and stomach, which are the most commonly affected by administration of medicine, the nose and respiratory organs are receptive of the actions of medicine in fluid form by means of olfaction and inhalation through the mouth. So what he says? Yes, commonest route is tongue, mouth. That means if you have given it in liquid form, even in stomach, that is the most common route. But along with that, one more route which he defines, and that is the nose by the process of olfaction. So if you give the vapors or smell of it, of the medicine, that also through the nose acts, because the nasal mucous membrane is the sensitive area where there are many nerve endings. Same is true with the respiratory organs. So because of olfaction also, your medicine works. So if any patient who is not in a condition to consume anything, the another route is there through the olfaction. If it is also not possible, then skin is another route which can be used. That is also he mentioned. So by means of olfaction and inhalation through the mouth. But the whole remaining skin of the body, clothed with epidermis, is adapted to the action of medicinal solutions, especially if injunctions are the application. Injunction means application. If the injunction is connected with simultaneous internal administration. So what he says, he is explaining that if you apply the medicine externally, still it works. But you should not go for it. If the problem is local, and if you apply it locally, sometimes the internal disorder will not get treated, and this will just get removed, and there will be a deception of you. This should not happen, and that's why he suggests whatever may be the medicine, it should be given internally. That is the best route of administration of the medicine. So keep it in your mind. Mouth is one important organ through which we give your remedy, either in the globules, either in solutions, liquids, doses, all those things. Second route is the nose, through the olfaction. That is the best route to be administered. So these are most important routes of administration advocated by Hahnemann in this 6th edition of Organ of Medicine. Rest of the things which you can utilize, but this is most important thing which Hahnemann have explained. Footnote will keep as it is because today I'm little bit busy, so not possible to go for then footnote and explanation. We'll discuss that footnote and next aphorism in tomorrow's session. So on this thing, we'll conclude today's session. If any queries are there, we'll have a discussion. Otherwise, we'll conclude. Any question? So there are no questions. Last but not least, on the occasion of this Guru Purnima, I'm lot of blessings to the students of homeopathy. My suggestion to all of you is that it's a poem created by me a way back. It's good. I will share that poem for you. Learn, learn, learn as much as you can. Learn, learn, learn as much as you can. The day will come, there will be only homeopathy for better mankind. So, my suggestion to all of you, go into the details, learn homeopathy by heart, and learn as much as you can so that it will be beneficial for the suffering humanity. And that will be only thing which is needed at present if you want to go to the root level of to propagate the homeopathy for the betterment of the suffering humanity. So that's all for today. Thanks a lot, and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Namaste Satyanarayana ji. Thank you.